Welcome everyone to our second episode of the FreeICT Europe podcast. I am today with Amael. Really nice
Hi.
to have you on board. You are from Resilio, so I think as a starting point, we can definitely have you introduce yourself and Resilio as well.
Yeah. So, hi, my name is Amael, Chief Executive Officer at Resilio, Swiss-based startup working on the environmental footprint of ICT. So, our mission is really to support organization reducing the environmental footprint of their ICT in digital activities. So, we provide academy trainings and conferences. Also have software to assess the environmental footprint of ICT together with a database and some services, consulting services.
That's perfect. I think that's a great picture for everyone who will watch and listen to the podcast. You recently joined FreeICT Europe as an affiliate.
Yeah.
Why that?
We discover Free ICT Europe thanks to one of our clients, which is actually involved in repairing and extending the lifetime of IT products.
Mhm.
And it fit quite well with our own mission and objectives, which are to reduce the footprint of ICT and enhance their lifespan.
Okay, that's nice. Talking about vision, what will be Resilio's vision when it comes to increase the sustainability and the circularity of the IT sector?
So we really aim at an IT sector which cares deeply about its footprint, trying to reduce it and make as much benefits elsewhere as possible, when possible, within the planetary boundaries. So what does it mean is that we believe we need to reduce the production of new equipment yearly at a global level, which means we need to question the needs, ask ourselves, do we need new services, new equipment? When we want those equipment to last longer, we need to be able to do so. So we need to have the rights, we need to have the tools, we need to have the knowledge to repair them, which aligns quite well with the activities and support of FreeICT Europe. And we really also believe that the manufacturing has a part to play. So at Resilio, we also conduct some research working with a bunch of other companies in research institutes to try to see where we can reduce the footprint when manufacturing the devices. So having an ICT sector which care about its footprint for us is doing things that make sense. So that things and digital services that we need, repairing and extending the lifespan of all the equipment we already have to not produce new ones. And when we produce new ones, do it caring about the planet.
Okay, so you are talking about footprint and the idea to include a bit more footprint in into accounting the circularity of the IT sector. But do you think there are other things that are missing at the moment that we should a bit focus on more when it comes to those topics, circularity, sustainability of the sector?
I mean, if I want to be right in the trend, I will speak about the ethical points in AI, which is a non-environmental concern, which we can have also on the cybersecurity plus political threats that we may have as Europe. We are basically unable, we're not able to build from ourselves from scratch an IT equipment. So we need external partners. Do we want to live with this, with those need from other international players? This is a question. Are we able to build secured equipment? Those are all the concerns that might raise, which are not that far actually from the sustainability, pure environmental sustainability concern, and of course, all the ethical concerns, because building a software that will run on a machine just to observe and give governments an extend view on your private life is not, in my opinion, which is really sustainable.
That's definitely. Let's move to and IT end users. And what do you think, what are the change that will be required for them actually currently? Do you have, is that a reflection on your side, taking into account a bit IT end users?
Yeah, so we have this through the lens of large corporation. At Resilio, we provide consulting services to some large corporations, EU corporations, and in this case, they may have up to 100,000 of users, of end users, which mean hundreds of thousands of laptops, smartphones, screens, and other end user devices. In the case of companies, it's quite easy to make the devices last because you have IT professionals within the companies. So they are quite skilled when it comes to repairing or upgrading the equipment. When you come to the end users as citizens, as private person, natural person, I believe we still need from manufacturer to have a huge improvement in the easiness and ability to repair the devices. If you just look at what Fairphone do, they wanted it to be simple to fix. They wanted the smartphone to be able to last for 8 years, and they do it actually. So I would not say that it is as UX friendly as maybe any Apple device, yet I guess that if Apple engineers really want to have a device which is repairable and can be sustained, they can do it. And this for me is something that is really missing when you come to the end user, the end and the citizens.
Yeah, that's a very good link to the next topic I wanted to tackle with you, which is legislation, because the recent legislation is in a way going to force Apple to design their product in a way so that they are repairable, which wasn't the case until recently. But on your end, what do you think? Legislation should focus on when it comes to those providers and manufacturers on the design, or do you think on something else?
Well, I had the chance to finish recently a master thesis at EPFL, so the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, which was entitled Sustainable IT Opportunities for Enterprise and Society. And the last chapter was exactly asking the question, what should a government do? Um, and so the findings are they must ensure that citizens are able to reduce their own footprint easily and that we can do it really quickly. The other finding were that the current trends are not sufficient, so we need to accelerate quite quickly and efficiently. So I think it's legislation that actually support and force the right to repair, that really give an ability to extend the lifespan, which does not mean that you need to have everyone able to fix his house on a smartphone, but you can have a full economical system around with repair store, with second-hand devices providers and spare parts managers that would cares about all this. The point is to make this possible and reduce all the obstacles that are put by manufacturers today. So this is really something important. Another point um, on the regulation also would be to ensure that similar initiatives are implemented in companies, and we do not let companies go crazy with digitalization without caring for the environment in the all the related aspects that are behind. So we need to have a balance, which is what my research asked for, is a balance between digitalization and the efforts in sustainable IT. The last one, which is maybe the less easy to accept, is that no matter how much we care about sustainability and sustainable IT, if we continue to go crazy with each new technology, AI, blockchain, or whatever we might invent tomorrow, it will not work. So if we want to live within the planetary boundary, we need to have a regulation that asks technology to fit within the planetary boundaries before being released to the market.
Yeah, you anticipated my next question. That was how can legislation really tackle markets in a way because we are in an economy that is driven by the market, so driven in a way by consumption. And how what do you think is the key there to break this and move really from an economy that is based on consumption to an economy that will be based on circularity?
Well, actually, I believe that the market may still have a large part to play. The only point I must raise is that we must live within the planetary boundaries. I'm trained as an environmental scientist, um, which is which means that I was trained to climate change and all those other funky planetary crises. And if there is one thing that I know is even here in Switzerland, one of the richest country in the world, we have no resources. We're not rich enough to fight against the planet. So if we have floods, if we have droughts, if we have fires, we can find as much as we can. Our lifestyle will become worse. Our quality of life will become worse. So we must live within just because we're not strong enough. Which means once we know that every market, every regulation that tries to improve the quality of life must care first that we live within the planetary boundaries. And this is my only fix I would add to the current system, which works quite well when it comes to increasing the quality of life of people, reducing the poverty on Earth. Yet I believe we really need regulation now at the EU level, but also the international level that cares first that we can fit this within the planetary boundaries and then see how we release it to the market. And if the answer is we cannot support AI currently within the planetary boundaries, then we ask the researcher to continue and improve until we can. And when we can, we release. That
And
would be my question and request to our EU Commission.
do you think that's something feasible actually? Do you think there is a ground for public acceptance and business acceptance of this idea?
I mean, we don't release drugs and medicines until we're certain that they works. Actually, it's not the fair open fair where everyone can come with a new drug and sell it to everyone. So yes, we do so for medicine. Why not for another type of technology, which is ICT? Would make this is definitely possible. We know how to do that. We have institution to do that. We know it and we accept it. So why would it be different just to ask the researcher to wait 5 years more to before releasing the beast?
Okay, at least you convinced me, so now we'll see if we can convince together decision makers with that. As a closure, I wanted to ask you what would be the key message you want to raise to conclude this podcast. If there is something, it doesn't have to be related to what we just discussed as well. It can be a much broader message, but really want to have your insight on that.
I mean, if there is something that is quite related, I decided to engage in a startup to have a strong impact. I believe businesses can have an impact. I'm more on the team of people which try to fix the system rather than drop it and start a new one from scratch. I believe we can really, if everyone spend a bit of time every day to try to make the planet a bit better, we can have a quite a good impact together. And this idea of first testing if it fits within the planetary boundaries, then releasing, is very important to me. And on a concrete part, I would emphasize under the final conclusion of my master thesis, which was if we want sustainability to work, if we want to have ICT in sustainability, which we need to, because we need to stay within the planetary boundaries, we need to embrace digital sufficiency. So we need to use it sufficiently, no more than what we need, and that would be already a very good point. So if each and everyone can from tomorrow try to use digital not more than what he needs, that would already be a good starting point.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for joining me to today. I hope you liked the
Yeah,
exercise as much as I did, at least. And I'm looking forward to work with you actually over the coming months and with Resilio that we are really glad to have on board with you. Thank you
thank
again,
you very
Amael,
much. It was my
and
pleasure.
and I'm wishing a nice day to everyone that is going to watch, listen to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
See you, everyone.